is a wake-up call. Publix, a chain of grocery stores which is based in Florida and now in several other southern states, advertises itself as a place where shopping is a pleasure. They maintain very clean stores, and there is usually someone out to help you should you need it. Their website states, if you think shopping at Publix is a pleasure, try working here. It's very satisfying to work for a company that is passionately devoted to its customers, to its associates, and to the communities it serves. It's equally rewarding to work for a company widely recognized as a leader in the supermarket industry. We maintain that reputation by hiring people who have their own passion for excellence. I hope this career section helps you. We hope this career section helps you make an informed decision about whether to apply at Publix, and if so, which positions best match your interests, your skills, and your experience level. We wish you great success in your career, whether or not it's with Publix. Maybe that's how it used to be. But as the wife of a man who was in the management at Publix, I can tell you firsthand that's not how it is now. My husband used to come home so depressed that he was almost in tears about the way he was forced to treat his associates. Corporate wanted him to do what they call a written counseling statement on every little infraction, even though their company policy is that they get 2 verbal warnings first. It seems that in their eyes, that was the way to pull errant associates in line. In addition, they expected him to put the company before his own family, refusing to give him time off unless it was a family emergency, as defined by the federal government for family leave. Their thought was that he was a Publix employee first and a husband and father second, and his store manager as much as told him so that he wanted time off for us. We were still close to many people who worked there, from the top down in quite a few stores, and from what we were hearing, it just got worse since the economic crisis hit. There are no more verbal warnings at all. If a customer complains about you, you get written up. If you get a certain number, I believe it's 3 write-ups within a 6-month period, you're fired and can't be rehired. Their policy now is that they just have to suck it up and be as nice to the customers as you can. Everyone is supposed to leave the stores happy, even if they're happy because they got no treat you like a dog do and got away with it. Now all of us who have worked in retail know how nasty customers can be. That's why the policy was like it. That's why the policy was like it was. If you had a couple of customer complaints, that was par for the course. If you had more than 3, then it was time to sit down and have a talk. Usually it was just that, a talk, and things improved. If not, then you got written up. The worst thing about this new policy at Publix is that they are using it to get rid of themselves with higher paid, full-time employees with benefits. This is because they want to bring in lower paid part-time employees who have fewer benefits. This is straight from my husband's mouth. He left Publix of this. He and I are both agree that this is unfair to long-term employees and is more like the policy of a Walmart or Home Depot than the Publix that George Jenkins started. This is the Publix mission statement. Publix mission statement. Our mission at Publix is to be the premier quality food retailer in the world. To that end, we commit to be passionately focused on customer value, intolerant of waste, dedicated to the dignity, value, and employment of our associates. Emphasis mine, devoted to the highest standards of stewardship for our stockholders, by me, the associate we are the stockholders, and involved as responsible citizens in our communities. Notice it says dedicated to the dignity, value, and employment security of our associates. It seems that somewhere along the line, that part of the mission statement has been forgotten. It was around the time that Charlie Jenkins Jr. left as CEO and Ed Crenshaw took over. This is just too much like what happened when Sam Walton died and his sons took over. Things went to hell in a handbasket really quickly for the employees then, and things are heading south for the employees of Publix now. I hope that Publix wakes up before it loses some of its best and left with the rest. Right now, the store where my husband worked has lost 10 long-term employees. to either transfer or volunteer resignation because of harassment and ill treatment. Some of the ones who transfer say it's much better. In fact, in the stores they transfer to, it seems to be a policy shift instead of a problem with management in any other store. Wake up, Publix. Store managers have autonomy, don't they? Then do what is right for your store and your customers, not what is right for corporate. They're out there in the field anymore. They aren't out there in the field anymore. They don't know how it is. Customers, because of their own stress in this economic time, are becoming more and more abusive. You should be more lenient in the case of reported customer abuse, not less. I hope that someone in customer management reads this. I'm sending a link to the customer care site. Hopefully people will do something about they become just because another hopefully Publix will do something before they become just another Food Lion or Winn-Dixie or Albertsons, or worse yet, the Walmart of the grocery world. This is a call to all Publix managers and associates who are sick and tired of the way you're treated. Put your comments here, or better yet, write to corporate and let them know how you feel. Below are the emails for some of the corporate heads. Let's stop this before it goes any further. You can contact Publix online by clicking here. You can write to them or call them here. Publix to contact associates, Publix offices, please. Update! Wow! I wrote this years ago and had forgotten about it. I was shocked to come back and find 48 comments that agreed with this post. Evidently, Publix has gotten even worse since I wrote this. I have since gotten divorced because my husband decided to choose Publix over me and our kids when they offered him megabucks to come back. He is completely brainwashed now because they kept giving him raises and bonuses for neglecting us. He makes over $100,000 a year and I can't get him to pay child support. I'm banned from entering his store because I can't have certain papers that are trying to get some money for my kids. They fought not to have his wages garnished one. I just told them that he worked. I didn't force them to go anywhere though. Although I did tell them that that's where he spent most of his time. I forgot to mention that I used to work for Publix too. They sent me a letter shortly after that we separated, saying that we had done an adult and I owed them $72 or someday long ago. I had forgotten to mention that I used to work for Publix too. They sent me a letter shortly after we separated saying that I had done an adult and I owed them $72 or someday way long ago that I was paid that I shouldn't have been. They refused to send me proof. I refused to pay them. So now I'm backlisted from being hired to any Publix store, and that $72 charge is on my credit record. Publix is truly evil. This was done by corporate to control me and keep me from causing them any more trouble after I did this website. I don't have any idea how they knew I did it because I told no one, not even my husband. The only way they could have known was to hack into my computer. I had a major problem with a virus right after my husband went back to work there. The computer expert told me that it wasn't any virus he had ever seen before, and it wasn't anywhere else on the internet, and that it had to be specifically on my computer. It was a keylogger that recorded every stroke anyone made on the computer, and it had infected every computer in my house, even my kids. He could not trace the computer virus back to its source. We had to wipe all 4 of our computers to get rid of it and put in the corporate strength antivirus. Thank God. I had backed up everything. I think they were spying on my husband and just happened to find this blog. I know this sounds crazy, but it's all true. I don't trust Publix, and I have not walked into a Publix store in years and never will again. Many of the long-term employees making good money that I knew there have been pushed out by having their pay cut, being written up numerous times, and having their hours cut back from full to part-time, then to less than 12 hours a week, while the students making minimum wage were taking over their jobs. I hope So I hope everyone understands that Publix is not the company George started anymore and stays away from it.
I'm sorry, but it sounds like your husband had terrible luck working in the store he does. I have worked for Publix for nearly 3 years and my husband for 4, and I have quite a different impression of the company. I have had my share of mean managers, but the vast majority that I have encountered are sincerely concerned for the well-being of their associates. That being said, between the two of us who we have worked for 3 stores in 2 cities, it sounds like there is just a bad egg running your husband's store. If 10 long-term employees have already left, I suggest he follow suit and move to a store with a better team. There is no sense in staying somewhere that doesn't share his same values on treating associates. There are plenty of stores out there with managers who truly carry the weight of the Publix mission on their shoulders. My current manager has gone out of her way several times, including rearranging an entire freezer to make things more convenient for me, and I'm just a part-time clerk. I do not feel like I have ever been undeservedly punished. Please do not get the impression that all Publix stores are the same as your husband's store. I have decided to stay with Publix as long as I can because of the way they treat me, and I'm glad to say that so to anyone who asks.
You forgot about the evaluation process where employees lose pay. I get a raise every time evaluation comes around. The only time you don't get a raise or when you get to decrease is if you deserve it, which I have seen firsthand. Associates who do bad jobs get a pay decrease. Evaluations are every 6 months. If you get a worse evaluation than usual, you just don't get your raise that time around. If you fail to improve the next time, then you get a pay deduction. It's pretty fair, I think, to lose pay if you haven't been performing your best ability for a year. It's not designed to try to pay you less, it's designed to try and get you to do better. Well, I feel the same. Should apply to the managers as well. Dennis Cumby! I hate Publix! I never worked in a more hostile work environment ever! The DM wouldn't tell you to your face. He would go to your manager and complain. What an asshole! That is the most arrogant thing I have ever seen. I guess we are too low to even speak to. Fuck you, George Jenkins. That whole story about starting a grocery store with $1,300 in 1930 is bullshit. $1,300 won't buy you squat. And it certainly didn't then either. I'm sure he borrowed money from Al Capone or some other bootleggers in 1930 who all had winter homes in Florida. George is a criminal, just like his daughter and nephews. I would love to run into Ed, and I really literally mean run into Ed. The management at Publix is the worst ever. They couldn't work anywhere else. I noticed all the retarded people working there. Then I realized it crept all the way up to management as well. I have been with Publix 6 years. First store to open in Alabama. I have just had a quarter taken away from me because I'm not role model. This sucks. I feel like my last 6 years have been a waste. What the fuck? This is the good one. This is Niku. Niku.
Okay, I have read all the entries and quite frankly I am sick to my stomach. I have just come on with Publix in the deli department and quite frankly I see nothing but positive attitudes and happy employees. Yes, I hear the high school kids complaining and the slackers getting grief for slacking, but isn't that true anywhere? I have been in the service industry since I was 15. I have seen my share of bad managers and rude customers. Hell, I even have to get a restraining order on a customer for wanting to fight me for not refunding his money. I have been in the management and I know how bad managers are. Here's the thing. Bad managers eventually get fired. Times have changed since I was young and stupid. I didn't have the luxury of being able to file complaints and cry over petty garbage. It's life. Everywhere you go, you are going to have bad employees and bosses you want to strangle. I have busted my ass to provide my wife and son a great life. I am 33 and couldn't be any happier since out of management and working a job with barely any stress. Yes, the work can be tough and hours may be long at times, but try working in the restaurant business where I spent my whole life. You think your customers bitch? Try going over to the restaurant side. Hell, try the military. You think you got it tough? Try going 2 weeks with no sleep, little food and water, and having kids trying to kill you with bombs. Your superiors are allowed to beat the shit out of you for doing something wrong. I was 13 seconds late for formation and got my nose broken for it. So quit your bitching, do your job. Be happy you have a job, and if you do not like your job, find another. It's a free country. A country where you have the freedom to choose what you want to do. Feel free to respond with childish comments. It is your right as an American, freedom of speech. I will sit back and laugh at you for being oblivious to the real world.
Hey, motherfucker, why don't you do us all a favor and die? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You obviously never worked in any fucking stores, like I have. It's all hypocrisy and bullshit to the max. And as far as the real world's concerned, you are completely ignorant to how countries like Canada have more freedom than the U.S.
Shut the fuck up, Pog. Your argument about the military has nothing to do with civilian employment. This post, however, has everything to do with the way George Jenkins originally ran this company and how it's no longer following that standard. So your statement is invalid. Everyone here can easily suck it up and deal with considering that they have done so obviously and they have these stories. So to bitch about someone speaking out and then preach that they have the right to free speech shows how much of a dumbass the military made out of you. Have you pulled the dick out of your ass yet? Yeah, they will write you quickly. My daughter was given verbal counseling for not bagging a lady's bread. How petty is this? I hate Publix! The worst company I ever worked with! It is an abusive company! Suck your blood until it is too late for you to look for another job! I hate this company! Its managers and its policies indeed! Damn you, Publix! Nothing does not deserve to be on my time on Publix! I totally agree that Publix is an awful place to work. Managers from the district manager down disrespect you, humiliate you, and treat you poorly. I was a customer service staff for 10 years, both in Georgia and Florida, and I finally walked out on them. I will not tolerate any humiliation and disrespect by anyone, especially for $10.40 an hour. It is difficult to deal with their insults. Publix managers do not receive the proper training. Immediately after they got promoted, they abuse their authority and do not make a mistake. They demote you to a bagger in a heartbeat for a few months so the rest of the store can laugh at you. I still do not know how I could accept this kind of treatment for 10 years. I finally have my life back by getting away from the Publix cloud. Terrible, awful company to work for. I do regret wasting 10 years of my life for Publix. Shame on you for letting your managers treat their associates like that.
I would like to say that my husband is currently an assistant store manager and has moved up from a grocery manager for 4 years because he is motivated, hardworking, and does his job. I can assure you, if things were done like that in the past, they are not now. There are too many employees getting away with too much, in my opinion. It's half our dot, comma, space. Publix is an excellent company to work for. Comma, work for. Dedicated people who actually want to work and move ahead in their career. How many other supermarkets do you know that pays the salaries that Publix pays their managers? Question mark. I'm sorry to hear about your situation, but I strongly encourage someone who is looking to work for a stable company. Make a good living. To encourage looking into Publix is a demanding job, but a job. What job isn't?
You should find out who he slept with. God forbid you to move to a different district. My husband was on his way up within a short time also. We chose to move for our family, so he stepped down. Transferred to a new city and religion. Since we've been here, Publix has done nothing but degrade him, and he was taken off the finals list for the job he stepped down from. He hasn't changed, neither has his work ethic, so I can't help but think it's all about politics. So much for hard work and dedication. By the way, he has been with Publix for 10 years, and this is how he has been treated. Unhappy family. But George knew that if he had happy employees, they would be happy to help the customer and keep them coming back. That ideal is long gone. You got to right. Publix is well on its way to becoming just another Walmart or Dixie. In theaters this Friday. Dun, dun, dun. I got 3 hours next week. How do I live? Oh, Publix.
From my experience, Publix is a fake company. Don't ever work there unless you hate your social life.
Why is Publix begging for donations? It's annoying. It's a fucking grocery store. What do you think? Go get a real job.
Publix is the best grocery chain to work for. Been a bakery manager for 28 years. The grocery retail business is now cut out for all. It could be tough at times. Also, I'm a fucking robot.
A country where you have the freedom to choose.
Wake up, Publix. Store managers have autonomy. Autonomy. Wake up, Publix. Store managers have autonomy. Autonomy. Wake up, Publix. Store managers have autonomy. Don't they?